John Nolan, the actor known for his roles in Dark Knight Rises and Person of Interest, has passed away at the age of 87, bringing an end to a life that was defined not only by his work on stage and screen, but by the unique spirit he carried with him throughout every chapter of his journey. His presence, both in the entertainment world and in the lives of those who knew him personally, leaves behind a legacy that feels deeply personal and quietly profound, marked by a blend of intelligence, independence, and warmth that is rarely found in one individual. The news of his passing was reported on Saturday by the Stratford-upon-Avon Herald, a confirmation that resonated with those familiar with his long-standing connection to the arts, particularly within the British theatrical tradition. For many, the announcement was not just the loss of an actor, but the loss of a personality that seemed to exist slightly outside the ordinary, someone who never quite fit into predictable molds and never seemed interested in doing so. John Nolan was not only recognized for his professional accomplishments, but also for his familial ties, being the uncle of Christopher Nolan and Jonathan Nolan. Yet even within a family associated with creative excellence and global recognition, John's identity stood firmly on its own. He was never defined by association, but instead carved out his own path, guided by a sense of individuality that remained consistent throughout his life. His journey was not one driven by fame alone, but by a deeper connection to craft, expression, and personal authenticity. In reflecting on his life, his wife Kim Hartman offered words that captured the essence of who John was beyond his roles and achievements. She described him as a free spirit, someone who always knew what he wanted and acted according to his own terms. This was not a casual observation, but a defining truth about the way he lived. He did not bend easily to expectations or conventions, and instead followed an internal compass that seemed unwavering in its direction. To her, he was the only truly original thinker she had ever known, a statement that suggests not just intelligence, but a rare kind of independence in thought and perspective. She spoke of his articulate nature, his intelligence, and his anarchic wit, qualities that together created a personality that was both engaging and unpredictable. His wit was not merely humorous but carried a sharpness that revealed a mind constantly at work, always questioning, always exploring, always seeing beyond the surface. He had the ability to examine both sides of an argument, a trait that speaks to a deep sense of fairness and curiosity, a willingness to understand rather than simply judge. Yet beneath all of this, beneath the intellect and the independence, John Nolan's excellence was profound. There was a kindness that defined him just as strongly. Kim described him as the kindest person she had ever known, a statement that holds a quiet weight, suggesting that his impact was felt most deeply in the way he treated others. Kindness, in his case, was not an accessory to his personality, but a core element of it, something that shaped his interactions and left lasting impressions on those around him. She also noted that animals loved him, a detail that may seem small at first, but often reveals something profound about a person's nature. There is a certain honesty in the way animals respond to people, an instinctive recognition of gentleness and authenticity. That they were drawn to him speaks volumes about the calm and compassionate presence he must have carried. Beyond his personal qualities, John Nolan was also remembered as a dedicated and talented teacher. This aspect of his life highlights another dimension of his character, one rooted in sharing knowledge and nurturing others. Whether he was explaining a Shakespeare soliloquy or teaching someone how to swing a golf club, he approached teaching with the same passion and clarity that defined his own understanding of the world. There was an ability within him to connect, to translate complex ideas into something accessible, to guide others in a way that felt both supportive and inspiring. His devotion to his family was another cornerstone of his life, a commitment that remained constant even as his career and interests evolved. Family for him was not something secondary to his ambitions, but an integral part of who he was. It provided a foundation, a sense of belonging and purpose that grounded him amidst the many roles he played both professionally and personally.